Newshour Special Edition.
A very good evening. You're watching the Newshour with me, Kritsween Walia. Viewers, the clock is now ticking for the much-awaited special session of the Parliament. It's a matter of a few hours from now, and in the run-up, as customary, the government convened an all-party meeting just this evening. So far, the government had listed some of the agendas, including a special discussion on Parliament's 75 years, starting from the Samvidhan Sabha. And just this evening, after the conclusion of the all-party meeting, Union Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi confirmed that a total of 8 bills will be on the agenda over the next 5 days, including the contentious bill on the appointment of CEC and other election commissioners. What the opposition may have though read into was the addition of an as of now caveat on part of the minister. Before we tell you how the opposition saw red in government's intent once again, even after the all-party meeting, hear it from the union minister saying black and white on what will be on the agenda this special session.
There is a repealing and the amendment bill 2023, the press registration and periodicals bill 2023, the Advocates Amendment Bill 2023, the Post Office Bill 2023, Senior Citizen Welfare का एक bill है. Total there are around 8 bills.
What about the election?
What I have said, I have said. What I can say and what I have to say, I have said. There are now, we have listed these items for the government business.
However, suspense remains over the special session still. Remember, the session comes on the backdrop of the formation of the One Nation, One Poll election, the panel, and the controversy around the nomenclatures India and Bharat as well. The opposition believes the agenda listed by the government and the discussion in the all-party meeting only seems to suggest it could be a routine parliament session and there was no need to call for a special session. Others claim the NDA government is hiding legislative grenades and there's more to the special session than what meets the eye. They say the government is hiding something.
They don't know whether it's a special session or whether it's a normal session. There's no such thing. There's nothing like special session. They don't accept it as a special session.
Did you ask them whether there will be
Yes, the members asked them. Is it a special session? Is it an ordinary session? What is it?
So you are not satisfied?
We are going to have picture. Photograph is going to be taken of all the members of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, then combined, and probably they will dissolve the House. Well, one of the most important issues is Women's Reservation Bill. Everybody has said that should be passed.
Now it looks like a normal session. If it's a special session, what is special? If it is a normal session, what is the urgency to call right now for 5 days? It's just being all of a sudden 5 days, the session is being called. I feel something will be there, no? But why should they keep it dark? Let us discuss. They have the majority. If they want, they can pass the bill. So why can't? I don't understand why they're keeping this in the dark.
जब भी ऑल पार्टी मीटिंग होती है तो सत्र से पहले दिन बुलाते हैं और उसके अंदर सत्र में क्या होने वाला है वो सारा एजेंडा आ जाता है. कौन से बिल आएंगे, कौन से रिपील होंगे, नया क्या होने वाला. इसमें तो कुछ भी नहीं बताया. 3 बिल है जिसमें एक रिपील होने की बात करें, 2 बिल हम लाएंगे, एक राज्यसभा से और लोकसभा. मतलब बिल्कुल गोलमाल सा कर दिया. 18-19 का तो बता जाएगा, लेकिन 20-21-22 को क्या होगा उन्होंने कहा कि वो हम आपको 20-21-22 का नहीं बता. सारे दलों ने विरोध किया और हमने ये भी मांग करी 0 ओवर, जब स्पेशल नहीं है तो फिर 0 ओवर, प्रश्नकाल, 377 जो हमारे ध्यानाकर्षण वगैरह जो भी हमारे स्थगन होते सारे करने चाहिए. एक तरीके से चाय नाश्ता किया 2 बार और हम निकल पड़े.
The opposition is prepared with their counter-attack. Remember, the Congress Working Committee passed a resolution on Saturday where they decided on making INDI bloc an ideological and electoral success and decided on opposing the CEC appointment bill in the special session. The Congress also made its intent clear on demanding the passing of Women's Reservation Bill in the session. And it's not just the Congress. The entire India bloc plans to ring-fence the government and in particular the Prime Minister on 9 issues, the ones listed by Sonia Gandhi in a letter she'd written to the Prime Minister a few days ago, ranging from inflation and unemployment to the Adani allegations and Anantnag.
हमारी तरफ से चर्चा चाहते थे कि कास्ट सेंसस पे सरकार कोई नीति निर्धारण करे. सरकार ये बेरोजगार, महंगाई, ये हमारे चाइना बॉर्डर पे जो चीनी फौजों की जो अतिक्रमण हुए, अदानी साहब के मुद्दे, मणिपुर की हालात, जम्मू कश्मीर की आज की स्थिति, सारे चीज़ों पे सरकार ध्यान दे और जो हमारे जो सांप्रदायिक दंगा जो हो रहे हैं हमारे देश की कोई स्टेटों में, इसके बारे में सरकार संज्ञान में लाए। और हमारे ज़्यादातर जो पार्टियां हैं, विपक्ष, सारे पार्टियां की एक ही मांग थी कि भाई वुमेन्स रिजर्वेशन बिल इस सदन में पारित किया जाए। ये शुभ अवसर पर वुमेन रिजर्वेशन बिल को पारित करके सरकार नए सदन की शुरुआत करे, ये भी मुद्दे रखे गए हैं।
The BJP, remember, since day one has maintained that they have gone by the book. They have not resorted to any illegal means of calling for a special session, and the several NDA constituents maintain that the opposition must look at this session with a constructive approach.
I wouldn't want to speculate on whether it's a routine or a special session. It's a parliament session. Let's look at it positively, constructively, and do something which is in the interest of the nation. As I said, from our party side, we have suggested something about the women's reservation bill. There will be other legislation which the government will also bring. Everything what is done in parliament should be in the interest of the nation.
Well, let's quickly open this up with Samajwadi Party spokesperson Ghanshyam Tiwari, Congress leader Vivek Bansal, DMK spokesperson Pugas Gandhi. We also have with us political analyst Manish Baryar. But my first question is to Sanju Verma. Since the opposition is far from seeing anything constructive or positive as far as the upcoming special session is concerned of the parliament, Sanju, they're saying that the government surely is hiding something. They're keeping us in the dark, and this despite the all-party meeting. They're saying there's much more than what meets the eye.
You know, Kritsween, first and foremost, if you don't mind, through your show, I would like to once again wish the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi a very happy birthday to you, sir, for all that you're doing and you will continue to do all through 2024, right up till 2029 and what have you beyond that. Coming to your question, I just have this to say. You know, I was doing some homework prior to coming for your debate, Kritsween, and I found out that barring tomorrow, when the special session starts and will last till the 22nd of September, till date in post-independent India, there have been 7 special sessions that have been held by the ruling dispensation of the day at that time, you know, in various years. There was one special session that was held for the first time in 1977 under the aegis of Indira Gandhi, and that was to call for President's rule and imposition of Article 356 in Tamil Nadu and Nagaland. Then there was the second special session held in 1991 for imposition of President's rule in Haryana. Then you had, you know, special sessions in 1992, 1997, 2008. All under either Congress regimes or Congress-supported regimes. We, under the BJP, have had 2 special sessions. One in 2015 under the Modi government to celebrate the 125th anniversary of Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar, and one was in 2017 when you had that famous GST bill which was passed at midnight on the 1st of July.
And that's why the opposition is perhaps looking at something famous once again, Sanju. But to add to what you're saying, you know, the Union Minister...
I just need 10 seconds.
No, I just want to add to that because Prahlad Joshi made it clear. He says 8 bills will be discussed, they will be brought to the table, and we can go by them one by one as well. But several in the opposition immediately thereafter came out to say there's nothing special about these bills, so why call for a special session to discuss them or bring them in?
You know, Kritsween, I'm actually amused. I'm not even agitated. If you look at the statement of Derek O'Brien. Derek O'Brien said the special session is to have an extended birthday celebrations by Prime Minister Modi. Then CPM leader John Brittas, he said, Dal mein kuch kala hai. Then look at the statement by Jairam Ramesh. He first said that surely Prime Minister Modi and his team have something up their sleeves. And then in the same breath, he says, this special session is much ado about nothing. So basically, pehle dot alliance ko tay karna hoga. What is it? Is the special session an extended birthday celebration of Prime Minister Modi? Is it much ado about nothing? Is it the legislature and the executive, you know, trying to hide something which they have up their sleeves? First, come to a consensus, but I will just say this. There are 8 bills which have been put on the agenda. of which 3 are scheduled caste and scheduled tribe related bills. One is obviously a senior citizens bill, but the most important one is the bill pertaining to the amendment of the Election Commission Act of 1991, whereby we are saying that now the Election Commission and the Chief Election Commissioner will be decided by a 3-member committee which will be headed by the Prime Minister, a Union Cabinet Minister and leader of the opposition or somebody who's the leader of the largest opposition party, because unfortunately today we have no leader of the opposition because no party barring the BJP even has a 10% representation in the Lok Sabha, but यहाँ आके BJP को ये भाषण देते हैं. That is the unfortunate and hilarious bit.
Well, during the CWC meet, they have decided to oppose the bill to regulate the appointment, conditions of service and term of office of Chief Election Commissioner or Election Commissioners. That's very clear. Sanju, but let me go across to Vivek Bansal as well of the Congress, who is with us on the panel. Mr. Bansal, we've heard the Congress come out with a couple of agendas that they're going to be looking at in detail to counter the BJP as far as the upcoming session is concerned. They've also sounded the poll bugle in a sense in Telangana as part of the 2-day CWC meeting that was ongoing, which concluded just today. But why is it that the Congress today is not quite convinced at what the government says they want to discuss?
Well, it's like that. You see, there was no, basically the opposition was not taken into confidence initially when it was convened. And basically the ruling party had been quite vague on this. And there was a lurking feeling, as you media people also speculated on this, that it could be, one nation, one election, so, sort of a, it may be part of that. That is strategy.
Sir, to be fair, sir, I don't think it was the media that really jumped the gun and concluded that one nation, one poll, or something on that line is going to be brought in by the government. There were controversies and reactions that came in on one nation, one poll, with several in the opposition who came out to say elections may be held earlier. The Modi government may decide to hold elections sooner for their own benefit. They wanted to look into, the name-changing row, the renaming row, as far as that invite came out. So it wasn't the media for sure, sir.
No, it was, you can say vice versa. It can be both ways as well. But there was a speculation on the part of the media as well. And there was definitely, we had this feeling. And because of that, this had been happening. So anyways, what we want to say...
But none of that has found any mention. Prahlad Joshi's made it clear he's named the 8 bills that are going to be brought to the table. How does the Congress respond to that?
Definitely, we have strong reservations on this election commissioner's appointment. I think any right-minded citizen would have reservations on that. That the mere fact that the Chief Justice of Supreme Court has been removed has been his. He used to be a party of as a party in this 3-member commission. In his name, he has been, instead of that, a cabinet minister, just to so that they have a majority in that 3-member commission, and opposition is ruled over. Opposition voice is bulldozed. That is the main intention, and I don't think this augurs very well for the democracy and for the as far as transparency or objectivity.
So you've decided to oppose the government and its stand as far as this one bill is concerned. Mr. Manish Pariyar, what do you make of it? Because the opposition time and again, and several parties from the opposition camp have come out to say that all is not well. There are going to be legislative grenades that are going to be thrown in by the government. There's going to be some surprise element for sure. Why is this feeling there today? And do you also, in a sense, agree when the opposition says, look, we've heard of the 8 bills that the government is talking about. There's nothing quite special about them. They could have waited for the winter session of the parliament.
No, good evening to all the viewers and to the panelists. There is something special. You're shifting to a new parliament, and this is a very auspicious time. So that itself makes it special. So it doesn't have to be a special bill for this entire thing to be a special, because we know that it's a very important moment in the history of our country when we are shifting our parliament to a new building and we are shedding our colonial past. Is it not a very special occasion for this country and the citizens of this country? So why do you look at every time something happens only from the political point of view? But I look at it from a different perspective. you look at it as, the government as one product and the opposition as another product, and both are basically slugfesting because next year elections are going to there. Who's going to be in the mind of its customers, that is the voters, what we call top of the mind awareness. I think the government has very intelligently, allowed various issues and agendas which it favors to be discussed without putting all these, issues in the parliament to be discussed in the, outside. And that's a brilliant strategy because then the entire, things which government wants it to be discussed. For example, one election and one nation and also now women reservation bill. This bill is something which we are now discussing only for last 2 days. So it means that somehow opposition would have smelt it that, okay, it might be passed and the credit would go to the government. And therefore, they have started now talking about women, reservation bill. So, and this is a very contentious bill as far as India Alliance is concerned. If tomorrow or in this session it is passed, then Samajwadi Party and RJD, who are dead opposite this. So, if it happens, then you will find India Alliance in 2 parts. So, some of these bills are like that, which could be a master stroke as far as
Mr. Manish, very interesting what you're saying, because there was a point when we saw a divide within some of these political parties that have decided to come together and take on the BJP. But surprisingly, so far, all of them are convincingly on board. And we know why that is happening. It's all in the run-up to 2024. So those aspects cannot be negated. But Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari, because the opposition is not quite convinced, because the opposition doesn't quite think or see anything special in the upcoming session of the parliament as far as the legislative agenda is concerned, I want to quote to you what was said on the last day of the monsoon session by the Lok Sabha Speaker, Mr. Om Birla, who said that the Lok Sabha saw 17 sittings totaling 44 hours and 13 minutes with a productivity rate of just 45%, and this is in the lower house. So given this productivity of the last session and how it was considerably low, wouldn't you think that this kind of a special session perhaps may be the need of the hour? And it is upon the opposition to ensure that this situation doesn't arise in the future.
Good evening, Kritsween, to you, my fellow co-panelists and the viewers, and let me wish the Prime Minister on his 73rd birthday. At a time when youth across the country have also celebrated the National Unemployment Day in good jest. As far as the charge on opposition with respect to sittings of Parliament is concerned, under Prime Minister's watch, there are 3 infamies that BJP faces. We have a Prime Minister who has the lowest average sitting rate compared to other Prime Ministers in the Parliament. We have a Prime Minister who has the lowest average rate in terms of taking questions in the Parliament compared to other Prime Ministers. We have a Prime Minister who has the lowest rate in terms of participation in debates compared to other Prime Ministers. This is one.
But sir, when the Prime Minister debates or rather replies, the opposition decides to walk out, sir.
You did not interrupt. It's not a good argument. Let me complete my statement. Let me complete. This is not fair. This is not fair.
Okay, Sanju, I'll come back to you in just 30 seconds. Let him complete. Let him make his point.
I have spoken for 45 seconds. You can look at the clock. Please allow it.
Show for a change
second,
that you are mature.
Second,
show for a change that you have some sanity left in you.
Please allow me to complete. Please allow me to complete. Second infamy under this government is that this Lok Sabha, 17th Lok Sabha, and you're quoting some numbers and Om Birlaji's statement, this has the infamy of lowest number of sittings when they have a bumper majority, 285 odd sittings compared to 1997 and thereafter. It breaks its own record of 16th Lok Sabha. These 2 records together say that Prime Minister, his government has no faith in the Parliament. The third thing is that they pass the most number of ordinances.
No, but let's not digress. What is your opposition, Mr. Tiwari, to the special session of the Parliament? Is it the bills that are going to be discussed? Is it the fact that the opposition has been saying that, the BJP does not allow proper debate before passing the bills? If that is the case, then this is the perfect opportunity for the opposition to step in. What is the argument here? Why the opposition?
Until 5 days ago, they were playing a cruel joke with the country where this was the agenda of the special session, a blank paper. Then came the agenda of the special session. And the first statement in the agenda of special session is that the government wants to celebrate 75 years of India's parliamentary democracy. The country that they have lampooned in India and abroad, saying कि 70 साल में कुछ नहीं हुआ. What
Now,
are
we're not going to get into rhetorics. Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari, we want to stick to the debate line. Let Sanju Verma quickly come in and respond to the pointed arguments that you've made so far. And Parliament's 75-year journey that needs to be spoken of is the opening session, as has been very clearly established by the government. But over to Sanju.
Thank you. You know, Kritsween, I hate to say this, Ghanshyam is a very educated guy, but I find it hilarious that every debate, topic kuch bhi ho, he starts by abusing Prime Minister Modi. You should be ashamed. Your ... alliance was supposed to have a rally in October in Bhopal in Madhya Pradesh, and you decided to completely abandon the rally. Why? Because your ... alliance partners are all speaking in different voices. Pankaj Mishra of JDU says Nitish Kumar ko Pradhan Mantri banna chahiye. Mamata Banerjee says, oh goodness, when Ranil Wickremesinghe asks, are you the joint face of the opposition? Which means that she also harbors prime ministerial ambitions. यहाँ पर भूपेश बघेल और अशोक गहलोत ने कह दिया है, राहुल गांधी will be the next prime minister. And your Akhilesh Yadav, ना इधर के ना उधर के, Ghanshyam Tiwari comes, abuses the prime minister. And you know what? I find it very funny. Prime Minister Modi has the lowest sitting. Now shut up, because I did not heckle you. You are so many guys from the ... alliance. I am alone from the BJP and enough to take each one of you and rip you apart. And let me now come in. You said Prime Minister has lowest sitting. Prime Minister has lumped.
You are ripping us apart.
Prime Minister has done nothing.
Boxing.
You're blackjack.
Okay. Let's not make this personal. Sanju Verma, point taken.
Ask her to speak
Can I
quietly.
please?
Point taken. I also want to go across to Mr. Gandhi. Sanju, so quickly sum it up in 20 seconds and please make your point complete. I need to go across to Mr. Gandhi.
In 20 seconds, I have just this to say. Look at the hatred of the opposition when the Prime Minister addressed just a few weeks back the Independence Day celebrations from the ramparts of the Red Fort. Mallikarjun Kharge gave some lame excuse, was missing. Today when we had the flag hoisting at Gajdwar, the new parliament building.
No, but sticking to the argument, Sanju, the opposition continues to say that we want a discussion on Manipur, we want a discussion on what very recently happened in Haryana, we want a discussion on inflation. Those are the issues concerning the common man we want to talk about.
Kritsween Walia, those discussions have happened unless you have not been following the parliament proceedings.
Which are rankling and irking the common man of this country.
Okay, Mr. Vivek Bansal, and then I need to quickly go across to Mr. Gandhi. Mr. Bansal.
Yeah, but first of all, I would say that if somebody is stating facts, then like Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari, he just came out with the facts and figures, and that doesn't mean that somebody is abusing them. This is, you just don't take any constructive criticism of anybody or the Prime Minister. You just react in such a violent manner. I don't think this behoves any sensibility.
Everybody, it's a sincere request. Let's not digress. Mr. Bansal, 20 seconds to you. Please respond to Sanju. I need to quickly go across to Mr. Gandhi.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That there are so many issues at the moment which needs to be taken addressed, but our Prime Minister and the ruling party, ruling dispensation is not willing to discuss on that. And they come out with something कि सनातन को attack कर रहे हैं, कि something of this sort, innocuous issues which don't exist at all. And as
no, they're not non-existent issues, sir. They're very, very close to the hearts and minds of a million people in our country. So we can't negate it and simply say, oh, this is not an issue. But yes, specifically sticking to the agenda or the debate that's going to be witnessed over the next 5 days, Mr. Gandhi, what are your expectations as a spokesperson of the DMK? What do you think should happen through the course of the next 5 days, and why is the opposition, in your view, so unconvinced? Why do they think there's more than what meets the eye? The government is trying to keep things under the wraps.
So I don't know, first of all, what is so special about this parliamentary session? And number two, which parliament they are going to have the session, whether it is Parliament of India or Parliament of Bharat. First, they have to make it very clear. Because some days back, the Prime Minister himself has declared that he is the Prime Minister of Bharat from India in the G20 meeting, and the President has also declared that she is the President of Bharat instead of India. So these are all some jumlas of the Prime Minister. Maybe ask John Brito or Derek O'Brien said, they are going to have the extended birthday celebration of the Prime Minister in the Parliament. And my only request for the Prime Minister is, at least to cut the cake, please come to the Parliament. Because we have the Prime Minister who is seen in every parts of the world. He's in America, he's in Europe, he's in Antarctica, but he will not come to the Parliament. This particular session itself
is taking it to the Prime Minister's birthday, sir. I'm not quite sure if we want to drag it to that an extent. The BJP says, while putting out the list, this is not an exhaustive list. The opposition says, hence, there is much more than what is being said and claimed by the government. Well, it's just a matter of few hours. Gentlemen, Sanju Verma, we're going to see what transpires over the next 5 days. And of course, the much-awaited transition to the new Parliament building as well. But many thanks for joining us this evening. With that, we need to head into a very quick break.